everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We are back on Open Circuit. It is episode 15. It's April 24th, 2020. My co-host and co-producer Edie is back today after taking a break for 2 days. I'm so happy she's back. It makes the show so much more fun and interesting, and she's a big help around here. You just saw her playing the intro music for the show on her little keyboard. We're thinking about getting a better keyboard for her so she can up her production skills, because that's what we're all about, is just learning a little bit each day, trying to make things a little better and having fun. Are you having fun?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, we have a special show today. What is it?
How to do simple After Effects.
Yes, how to make simple videos with After Effects, just abstract videos. We thought this would be fun because we do this, and Edie does this, and she's 9, so we figure if a 9-year-old can do it, and she's been doing it for 2 or 3 years, anyone can do it.
Since I was 7.
Yes. Since you were 7. And kind of had this idea because yesterday we had a great guest, Fez Stanton, and he was really talking about this idea of just trying things with video, not being intimidated by software or equipment. And After Effects, although it's been out for well over 20 years, I think now, I think a lot of people are a little intimidated by it because you can do really complicated things in it, but I think people forget sometimes you can do really simple things with it, right?
Like this.
Oh, like this. Let's take a look at this video. This is one of Edie's videos she made. It's on her Vimeo account, which is Edie Soleil, all using After Effects. Do you remember making this video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
It's that's what we're hoping to show people today, that it's very easy to just make simple but very beautiful videos just using After Effects.
Yeah.
No cameras, no messing around, generally just one layer of stuff. And you might see also on the show we use a lot of this technique for the backdrops, that both Edie and I have made these videos in the backdrop behind us that you can see that we just project with the short throw projector. And so people might be wondering, what use is this? Well, why not do it?
You can use it for live visuals.
Yes, exactly. You can use it for live visuals, which is one of the main things I use it for. Edie and I and
I do it because it's fun.
It's fun. And Edie and I and Jen, Edie's mom and my wife, have a live visual thing called
Screen Time.
Screen
I
Time.
came up with the name.
Edie made up that name. It's really a funny name to me, at least. Screen Time, and we've done a few shows. And
Well, once it was Slop Tech. No.
Well.
Yeah, Slop Tech, I think.
Yeah, and
then it was Screen Time.
I kind of have my own sort of thing. Here's the Instagram Slop Tech, and here's all these videos here. And guess what? I've made them all just using the technique that we're going to talk about today. Just using After Effects, nothing fancy at all. Just trying to get colors and shapes and things swirling around. So if people are watching, they have any questions about it, let us know. We'll try to get to them. So we don't have a guest today, so we're just doing something a little different here, and hopefully inspiring people to just try things with video, because that's how some people really think of it methodically, and they're like, well, I got to learn how to use something before I touch it, but maybe it's better just to kind of bash through it and try things. It's another way to learn. Let's take a look at one or two other ones.
And for Screen Time, my mom made a really nice logo. Oh, we need to do.
Well, we're gonna We're gonna talk about our upcoming guests on Open Circuit, and then we're gonna do Edie's back, so she's gonna do her.
Already 8 people watching.
Yeah, she's gonna do her. Edie's video game review of the day. So coming up on Monday, Alejandro Garcia Contreras giving us a tour of his residency that he runs in Chiapas, Mexico. Then the next day, April 28th, Robert Dayton, who's out in BC right now, going to talk about a lot of his music and art and book projects, including his current book he's working on. It's a history of Canadian glam. Very excited. He's an encyclopedia of the things that he's obsessed with. One of those is the history of glam. And May 1st, Versa from right here in Guelph, from Alex and Monica. Going to talk about their live AV project, Versa. Julie Ferranda on May 4th, coming at us live from Glasgow, Scotland, talking about her art career. Dustin Seabrook on May 5th, talking about his ongoing Project Isolation videos. And then Corey Steckel from here in Guelph as well, talking about his collage and other visual art projects. Very excited to speak to all of these people. So, let's do something fun right now. We're gonna do Edie's video game review of the day. I'm just gonna pull that up on my phone, and that's the first time that we haven't forgotten to play Edie's video game review of the day titles. Again, why not play this today? This is again that background is just made in After Effects with Adobe Premiere to put the title on. Very simple. Nothing to it, as you're about to find out here on Open Circuit episode 15. So today Edie is going to talk about a game that we both really like. This game is called... What's it called? It's called Space Flight Simulator. One of Edie's friends, Pepper, her dad told me about this game a while ago.
Pepper brought avocado.
Pepper was on the show for
Cedar.
Pet Show and Tell Day. It's with her sister Cedar, and their dad Bill told me about this game. It's an app actually, but it's free. And amazing, and there's no ads in it or anything like that. And the idea of it is you can build spaceships that you can launch from Earth and fly around our solar system and beyond, I believe. So Edie's just playing one right now with a rocket ship that she has already built, and you can be very creative in this game about what you do. It's absolutely amazing. I've sunk far too many hours into it. And what do you like about it, Edie?
I like building the rocket ships.
Can you maybe show people how you do that?
Yeah.
If you want to just start a new one?
Build new.
Build new.
So then, you have tons of things. There's basic, big parts, aerodynamic, which I still don't really understand, and then utility, which I find really useful. So that one's a parachute, and then that one's like a little engine. Those are structural parts and stuff. So there's a lot of things.
Why don't you build a simple
Okay.
rocket ship that should fly, and we'll just we'll take a look.
That's like the
Fuel cells, yeah.
and then usually you want to make it pretty big so that you don't run out of fuel. So then, this one's a parachute. It's optional, but it's really useful. So then you click on the engine and you say off, and it goes pretty fast. The small ones. Once I made one with just the smallest block of fuel, and it went so fast but very short. And then you can go like that, and then
That looks incredible. You can really be creative with this and learn a bit about physics.
that's what the parachute.
Oh, you've just deployed your parachute to float back to Earth. Well, you can fly up to the moon and practice landing on the moon. You can fly
And
out to Mars and other planets. You can even start building things on the moon, like by bringing up multiple rockets. It's really fascinating. Sometimes I do something. I use it the wrong way. I build elaborate things and see how gloriously I can crash them.
Yeah, you really do like crashing.
Well, that's
And
fun.
then those are all the things that he crashed.
Yes, and you
Those
get
triangles.
space debris. Occasionally, one will be falling back to Earth, and you'll hit it on the way up or go past
Yeah.
it, and they all stay on the Earth. You can fly over and see.
Oh, it
you crashed. That's okay. That's not.
Oh yeah, 'cause all my fuel was off.
Well, that's okay.
That down
Wow.
to the ground.
Wow, thank you so much, Edie. That was awesome. You can find that on the App Store for absolutely free.
No
It's
ads.
no ads, no nonsense. I think even to buy the full version where you have a
It's
lot more options
a
is only
few
it's like
dollars.
$4 or something, isn't it?
I still really want him to get it. Too.
Well, maybe we'll invest in it, even though we don't do that too often. Maybe that would be fun. Yeah. So let's take a look. As we're seeing a few abstract videos, and we're just about to show you our basic, simple techniques to make things like this, just using Adobe After Effects. Normally these days that comes with the Adobe Creative Suite that you subscribe to. If you're a little creative, you might find other ways online to access a copy of Adobe After Effects. It's not too hard to find an older, let's say, slightly cracked version, but you didn't hear it here on Open Circuits. But let's just be realistic how computer software works. Yeah, it's not a really complicated program. Well, it is a really complicated program if you want it to be, but it can also be very simple. And I find a lot of people are really into video for years, still are shy about it. So we're going to try to break down that sort of intimidation stuff and show us
really
how to
nice,
do it.
Dad.
Yeah, it's all made just in the way we're about to show you.
Well,
So,
in different ways, because we might not make the exact same thing.
well, that's the thing is like when you're doing it this way, you don't really know what's going to happen. You just, like we might even see that maybe something because you're just trying things and
There's so many effects you can use. It's like I only used a few. There's so many. So
well, let's take a little look here. So here's my desktop. I'm just opened After Effects.
so then you do new project,
We'll do new project.
and then you do.
We go. Hopefully everyone can see the screen here. We go up to composition, and we're gonna
Oh,
do.
you don't see composition.
Well, it's like
It's just like above that line thing.
yeah, at the top menu composition, we'll go new composition, and this gives us some options here. And I basically just leave it, I think, at the defaults. And what I make them as HD, so 1920 pixels wide by 1080 pixels high, and I just set it up for maybe about 2 minutes. So, like, I called that Instagram account with my stuff Slop Tech because I like being a little sloppy with technology and not overthinking it, because if you overthink it, sometimes maybe nothing happens because you're too intimidated by making it perfect. Right.
So, you could start like with a shape.
So Edie's gonna hop in here.
You can choose the colors. I'm gonna do that, and then so you can do tons of things, and then when you make the shape, it's a bit like Photoshop, but you can do things with it.
Right. So you chose a rectangle or a square.
Yeah.
Set your colors of your
And
fill
then-
and stroke.
I'm gonna do effects on it.
So basically what the technique is, you don't bring any footage or images in, you just use what's in there, which are like basic shapes to start with. You just draw one out kind of randomly, and then you just find some interesting effects. And the other thing too is like you don't really know how, if you're just getting started with After Effects, you don't exactly know how the effects are going to alter what the shape is, or even at all. So sometimes you just try things with the effects. So you apply the effects, and the other part that you can do is what Edie's doing right now. She just changed, you can see in the bottom left corner, she just changed the scale. And can you explain how you're using keyframes there?
So you start with the scale. I can't press it again because then it would undo it. But you start with the scale, and then you press that little stopwatchy thing, and then you go here.
And then it makes a diamond shape on the timeline.
And then you can change it again. I'm gonna go back to 0. So then it looks like it's really fun.
Wow. So just by making using the transform options, which are your basic ones, like with your position, your scale, your rotation, you're just setting values in there, making keyframes, which you can see these little diamonds on your. Might swirl your mouse around those diamonds to show people. Those are your keyframes. You're setting values over time with them. And so what Edie's done is just made this square, shows the colors, and she's making it kind of zoom in and out over time.
And you can do like any size that you want. It's really fun.
All right, so you're making it 50 there.
And so...
Why don't you show also another transform thing like rotation? That's
oh,
really...
I just learned rotation today a bit.
So why don't you try
So,
rotation?
I went there actually, then did rotation. Can it?
Yeah, do a rotation to prove that these transform options work.
Ah, what just happened?
Oh, you just closed it up, so expand it with this arrow here.
It can
There.
get weird sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You just try it and things happen. But if you don't have a really strong set idea, it doesn't really matter what happens because you're just trying things.
Rotation.
Yeah. So you can either enter values in there or you can slide the thing. Oh, so now it's on a 30-degree angle. All right. Set to make it turn with a keyframe. Let's see. Okay. Now with After Effects, depending on what you're doing, sometimes you can't. It's not like Premiere or Final Cut. You can't always just play it back live because sometimes it has to render. With a simple thing like this, sometimes it will just play it because the computer, depending on how strong your computer is, it can play it back. So this is just After Effects for absolute beginners with no expectations. All right, so let's see what it'll do now with the zoom and rotate. Look at that, it's kind of like pulsing in and out. A lot of what we're trying to do is just get the pixels moving. That's all.
Yeah.
Just trying to get motion happening. All right. So why don't you put an effect on this now
Okay.
to
So-
try to mess it up and get even more pixels moving.
I go.
Let's see which one.
What cylinder? Ooh, like that. And then, well, you can do a lot of effects, like cylinder, which is now one of my favorites. And then, you can, yeah, it's really fun. And then, I go a lot to stimulation, and then, oh, this one's a fun one.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh, wow. So now it's really kind of messing it up here.
yeah.
Wow.
You can even put text into that effect, and then there's just like words bubbling everywhere. It's so funny. Yeah.
That's amazing. So we'll take a look. So here's your, if you can see on the bottom left corner, you can open up the effects window. Looks like she's got 3 glass wipe, cylinder, and Mr. Mercury happening. So this isn't playing in real time because it's trying to, figure out what all those pixels are doing with their transform and effects. And then you could render it out. Let's take a look. So that's pretty awesome. You can also, I slide my
Yeah.
playhead marker here
And
just
then
to
it
get
just
an
goes
idea.
fast so you can see what it looks like.
That's awesome.
And then sometimes when you have effects, you can do that, and it kind of switches them up. So here it's gonna be like that, and then there, and then so it's really cool.
So there's so many variables in
You
each.
can do so many things on After Effects.
There are so many. How about we just render this out? It's just a short one. It's only 15 seconds, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna slide this. This is like your range. See, I don't even know we don't even know exactly the terms,
Yeah.
but you know what? We don't care. because it's just fun, and there's no expectations at all for anything fancy to happen. And so we're just going to try to set that up
Dad,
to.
you're here.
Yeah, I'm hearing some playback from something. Um,
That's weird.
oh, that's weird. Oh, something's auto playing. That's okay. Um, so we're just going to set this up. Let's take a look. Here we are back here, and I'm just going to set up After Effects to render that out, because that's how After Effects works. You have to actually render out the video. So there's different ways to do this. You can use a media encoder, but the easiest way is just to go up here to File. I'm not sure if everyone can see this, but File, and oh, I have to highlight this window, File, export. Uh, hmm. Oh, maybe it's this one. See, this is not. You can find some pretty professionalized um, uh, tutorials on YouTube to do some very advanced things. But I'm going to add this to the Adobe Media Encoder queue, and we hope that this works. Let's try this. So this opens another program that comes with the Adobe Creative Cloud. It's called Media Encoder. It's a really great way to export your final footage into whatever you want. Usually I use like a QuickTime movie. It's a very standardized way to do it. And hopefully this opens up, and we'll just show you like the super basic way to do it. And to start generating some incredible abstract video, like you're seeing in the background of what we're playing here. This is just like you can see. I think that was based on a circle that just has a lot of effects applied to it, and it starts to get. You can, using the idea of those keyframes that we showed you, you can start changing the colors over time. It's all about doing things, over time. So here we are. We're back at Media Encoder, which is now open. And here's our thing. Here's our project ready to go. So I'm just going to click on here and call it ED Open Circuit Test. If you do things like this, basically everything's just a test. And I'll put this, let's just go save. And then here I'm just going to hit play. And look at this bar comes up at the bottom. It's figuring out its stuff, and it's going to start exporting. Look how fast it's going. It's going really fast because for After Effects standards, that's a super simple project, just with one shape, just a few effects on it. And it says it's just going to take another about 25 seconds to render, and then we'll take a look. So, what do you like about abstract video?
I like just making it.
Yeah.
Because it's so fun. There's like no rules. You can just do anything, and it's just really fun.
It is fun. The other thing that's pretty interesting about it is once you make a video, you could actually bring it back into After Effects.
Yeah, and then change things.
Exactly. Yeah, and then put more effects on it, more things.
That one probably had a lot of effects.
It could have been that one in our background right now. Probably I did bring it back in, and then sometimes I just layer the same file, but slightly change one of them, and maybe make one sort of transparent on top of the other, and use the what do they call, composite mode effects, like multiply or screen or add, whatever. You just try it and not be intimidated. It's just kind of like a philosophy, I think, of video. A long time ago, I used to work with people who used to sit down and read the entire manual for a piece of software before they'd open the program. And that can work as a good way of learning for some people. If you're really methodical that way, and that's an approach, that's great if it works for you. But it's also an awesome idea to just learn things just by bashing through them and just trying to figure it out. Yeah. So let's see if this. I think it's ready. We'll take a look. All right, just searching for it. 'Cause I don't even remember which folder I put it in. Maybe it's not. Oh, it's not. Maybe it's not quite done yet. It's still going because it went fast at first, but then it slowed down a little bit because of those bubbly effects, whatever they're called. I think that
Mr. Mercury?
Mr. Mercury, that's what it is. All right, so let's see here. I'm just gonna open this in QuickTime. Let's take a look if it worked. Let's see. Here it is. Open in QuickTime. I'll hit play. Obviously, there's no sound. Wow, and there it is. Just kind of bubbling, and you can see sort of that was a rectangle, but with these effects and the motion stuff on it, it kind of messes up, and you wouldn't even know how simple that was in the first place. You know, you could overlay that into real video and make it look like there's like ectoplasm coming out of something, or whatever you can come up with. So the point of it is just to try it, just like any software, just to try things. And we'll take a look at this other one that I'm not sure if Edie made it or not.
No, you made that one. Actually, I think I made that one.
Let's see here.
I'm not sure because I made one. No, you made that one.
Mm-hmm.
I made one like that one.
We'll just watch this for a second, and something's just gone a little off with our live camera here. I'm not sure why. Let me just change that up. Hopefully it comes back. Yep. All right. So I hope everyone's enjoying the show, and even if you don't want to use After Effects, it's just like maybe a sort of a way to think about just how to use technology in general. It's just to try things. Yeah. So hope everyone enjoyed the show. I think we're just today's kind of a short, fun show. We're gonna be back on Monday with some guests, and trying to make the show a little better, even though it's a tricky thing to do each day, live, switching video, talking to people, doing things. But we're doing what we can with what we've got. So I think we're gonna just end off with a few words from somebody named Zena Schreck, who used to be named Zena LeVay, and just kind of sums up some final thoughts for our show right here. And we will be back on Monday with Alejandro from Chiapas, Mexico. Hope everyone's doing well and feeling safe, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Zena, thank you very much for the interview today.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'd like to end this with a brief little dedication that whatever understanding came from this, whatever positive merit or positive forces, may it go deeper and deeper and hasten all of our way to liberation and enlightenment for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Awade Rahri, Un Salam.